Hey guys, Grebo Tools. I had some questions on some of the organizers I use, and a lot of them are actually homemade. So I'm first going to show you what you can do with this. This one specifically is just going to be ABC or ABS pipe, black ABS, nothing special. So I'll show you what I use it for in some of these different scenarios, and then show you how I put it together. So this right here, this is a road box for my power tools when I go on installs. You can see quite a few of them in there. All right, so as you can see, you can fit quite a few tools down in there. So those are either just glued together or pop riveted onto the wall. You can see right down here, this is where the snap-on batteries can go. That's some accessories and then some more drill bit stuff. But here are all the tools that fit into that one box. Instead of carrying around a bunch of plastic blow molded cases, I can carry just this stuff. This guy sits on the side of my box of my roll cart, and that is used for zip ties. I go through a lot of different zip ties and stuff, so different sizes. These are the mounts, like adhesive backed ones, ones that are removable. So yeah, that's glued together. And then just magnets onto the side of my box works very well, because this box does travel with me in a trailer sometimes, so I can pull that off so I can secure it. So we go over here. Sorry, still getting over a cold, so my nose is kind of snotty. You can see I took some 2 and 3 inch ABS, cut it, glued it, and my air tools can all fit in there. Those are for some of the tools I take with me on the road. Some vertical ones down here. So the only thing that actually holds this whole thing in here is one single pop rivet right here. There's a little stand underneath, and that's pretty much it to hold that. This is another one that the guys noticed in my previous video, the roll lock discs. So 2 inch ABS, cut it on a table saw to make the slit so I can get my finger in there to grab them. Nothing too special. So I got one more, but I'm gonna reset first. So last one that I want to show you, a little sneak peek here of the new toolbox. And here's what you can do with some ABS hangers for my power tools in my hutch. So just kind of pull them out, do what you want with them, just like I kind of used over on the other side of the garage. So yeah, a little sneak peek of, sorry, my light's behind. Still waiting on a light to, my hutch light to come in, so. All right, and here we are. Show you a few more things I've done with ABS, or this is PVC. I like the ABS just because it's black, and I like the black better, hides dirt and stuff. It's also lighter because ABS is actually a foam core. So this is just a dispensing unit for different Velcros. This in here is a HDPE sheet. You can actually buy it in 4x8 lengths at Menards if you're in the Midwest. Otherwise, I'm not sure. I'm sure you can get offline in different sizes and stuff, but cut those into some round circles for dividers, and then I can just pull whatever I need out from that. These are 6-inch PVC sewer caps. So they are cut down to width. The middle one obviously is cut down to where it doesn't have an end on it. And then some long bolts with coupling nuts in between to put it all together. Little handle so it sits there nice. And yeah, it's a lot better than having all of these in boxes, because the boxes take up more room and they just get destroyed when I'm on the road. So there's one thing that I've done with this. This guy here, we'll get to that in a second. So here's just ABS with one cap is glued on, the other one's not. Holds little roll lock discs, again, for on the road, just keeps them protected. I I started putting my plumber's tape, plumber's sandpaper, whatever you call this stuff, in here because, again, the boxes just get destroyed. They actually take up more room. Again, just a couple of ABS caps. There's a coupler nut in between. There's nothing fancy about this at all, except you got to cut the slot in there. This guy I really like, but it was more of a pain in the butt to make. I do a lot of cutting on the road with grinders, and I was always worried. I like these thin little grinding discs. I was always worried that they were going to get just destroyed from traveling, bouncing around in a box, and you get a crack in there and don't notice it, put it on your grinder, and then you're catching a chunk of this into your face at about Mach 3, which is no fun. So this guy can just hold a fairly decent amount, and they stay protected where I don't have to worry about them getting destroyed. The one thing is, this is a 4-inch ABS cap. It was actually not quite big enough on the inside for the 4.5-inch discs to fit. They'd work with no problem with a 4-inch disc. So I actually took a table router, set up the fence with, my fence has an adjustable thing, so there was a little gap in there where it could kind of fit, and then just slowly took off a little bit on the inside of each. And I also cut these down on the table saw because I didn't want, otherwise it'd be about double the width. I only needed this much space. But yeah, then just another coupler nut. And because this one comes apart more often, put one of those guys on there. But keeps my disc nice and protected. So, you know, these guys are all held together pretty straightforwardly with the nuts and stuff because they all come apart so you can refill them. But a lot of the other ones, like my zip tie holder, the big holder for my air tools, those are actually glued together because once you start working with this pipe in succession, you don't have room for tools to get in there, drill holes, drive screws. I mean, how would you drive a screw into there when you've got another pipe on this side? And plus the screw would come out and go through. So a lot of the times I'll use pop rivets where I can, just because then it's more flush on both sides. But screws really don't work, but guess what? Glue does. I've actually just been using PVC cement because that's what I've had in the garage. This is actually ABS. Oh, so if you're wondering, you can see the difference. All I do to get this nice even gray finish is random orbital sander, 80 or 100 grit sandpaper. Doesn't take long at all. Oh, I guess unplugged, but it just knocks it right down. Gives it kind of a nice finish, hides any kind of nicks and scratches and stuff. I just like that look better. You can see how that one wasn't sanded. That guy is sanded. So just kind of your preference on it. But I also don't like having the Charlotte pipe or whatever manufacturer it is running down the side. So I'll show you how I glue these. The hard thing about gluing this is trying to keep it straight and even. So gonna use the Milwaukee. If you saw, or I've got a video coming out on bypassing the stupid safety on this guy. I still haven't gotten all the, it's got a little bit of sticky on there, that's why it's kind of dirty, but I like it a lot better now. Not OSHA approved, clearly. Now, when I actually do make these for, you know, my holders and stuff, I put them on a miter saw just because it's a much straighter. You can see how these cuts aren't quite, and it also ovals it. So it'd take a little bit more to clean them up. So I just do them on a miter saw, but I didn't feel like digging that out when I've got this guy sitting on the bench. So we are just gonna take, oh, I was actually gonna grab some clamps and glue up another one too. Well, I'll just do that after. I'm gonna show you how tough this is, but I've never tried it just on the bare ABS. I've always sanded it. So one thing I've learned when you're doing this, you can do a nice wide because it's usually hidden in the joint anyway. So this one is gonna be sanded to sanded, and then off cam, I'll cut that one up and do a non-sanded to sanded. So it is kind of difficult to get these guys to sit flat and be square. And I've learned you don't clamp this way because it wants to twist and round it. You clamp on the inside. So you can use a ton of different clamps for this, and one of the other ones I use actually is those nicer, not the all plastic, but the metal hose pinch off tools. I've used those to clamp these guys together. It doesn't take a whole lot of pressure and dries pretty quick. But you can also put these in all different formations. So now I could start building on a triangle, put them closer together. I could do them just kind of in a square, whatever you want. I've got ones that have combination of 2 and 3 and 4 inch PVC or ABS all together. So this is 2, but you can get in 1.5 inch, 2, 3 and 4 inch ABS easily. I haven't had any use for the 1.5 inch myself. It's always 2 or 3 are my most common used ones, but it just depends on what's going to fit your tool. So yeah, let's let this sit. I'll put another one together, and I'm going to show you how tough this glue is. Okay guys, so the little testing on these. So these hose clamp pliers were the ones I was talking about. They actually work really good, just shove in there and clamp. So these have only set for about maybe hour and 45 minutes. I think they're supposed to actually, they say in a true plumbing world in PVC, they're supposed to sit for 2 hours before you pressure test them. But I'm gonna give it a go and just show you that this actually does seem to hold on pretty well. So I'm kind of curious. I haven't actually tried this. I know one time when I tried this with the 3 inch ABS, I actually broke the ABS before I broke the glued joint. So basically we're just gonna take a hammer and beat it and see what happens. You'll notice I've already ovaled it, and we'll see if this actually has enough grip to hold on without just turning. So yeah, that's kind of what I thought. So we're gonna have to reset here, I think. We'll try it with this guy too. So that was the unsanded. This is a sanded. Nada. So yeah, they feel pretty stout. So hang on just a second, and I'm going to make it so they won't turn. Which, I mean, if you look, it's a decent amount of clamping pressure to squeeze that down. So okay guys, round 2. So basically all I've done, I've drilled a couple holes, ran some screws in. You can see how you have to go right in the edge. So I was saying, glue is about the only way to hold some of these together when you get some of these different shapes. Hopefully that will keep it from turning. And so we'll get a nice squeeze on there. And this is far from scientific. You know, the actual comparison of the, you know, you can see some sanding, but where the glue joint is, there's no sanding on this one. Same with this. You can see how there's an unsanded portion, but where the glue is, there's not. But this one's actually a little bit shorter of a glue joint. I'm not trying to see which one's best. I'm just trying to show you that it's going to work and you can trust it. Because this is what I did so that I was confident trusting it. I did it with 3 inch ABS, but whoo. All right, I did not expect that. All right, we're gonna clamp this now nice and tight. There we go. Holy cow. And you can see actually my clamping might have gotten a little overzealous there because it actually cracked and split right there, which would have also weakened the joint. So, I mean, yeah, yeah. Like I said, the glue on this is insanely strong as long as you get some decent clamping pressure. So we'll try the sanded one here. Oh, and see, this one's getting a crack too from over clamping force. So we'll see if this probably, whew, there she goes. Got some distance on that one. Oh man, I just about took out my TV. So yeah, same problem on that. I have to clamp it in so tight, even with those blocks on there to hold it, that I'm actually running a crack down here. And you can see on this one, it actually pulled some of so there's a foam core, so it pulled the outside shell down to the foam core off one side, and then, or the part that flew pulled it off this side, and here's a chunk that it pulled off the other piece that flew out. I'll grab that one so you can see maybe a little bit better. So it actually, yeah, I mean, they are bonded. So you don't really have to worry about the fasteners so much. I don't know, I haven't even tried ABS glue or a multi-purpose glue because I've just had PVC glue in the garage and it's worked so far, so why mess with it? But that might even be a little bit better. So let's see. Yeah, if you want those Rolex disc holders, all I did was I figured out about how much I needed for how many I needed, cut a chunk off that way, ran it through the circular saw to cut that groove in there, little sanding, and glue them together, screw them onto something or set them in, whatever you want to do, and they're good to go. So lots and lots of options using ABS and making some homemade tool holders. So let me know what you think, and I'm going to get back to watching some playoff football. So thanks for stopping by, and sorry I'm not better at YouTube.